How you doing, Jonathan?
Hello, everybody.
Right.
Tim, how are you?
I'm all right, man.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, so let's get rolling here, folks. Some more folks are popping in, so I'm sure that more folks will be joining in as our meeting progresses. And again, I apologize for the delay. Always going to be some technical issues until I completely replace all of my equipment. Actually, I got to get on my own network because right now this is a shared Wi-Fi. So, and I'm not at my home. So I'm on the family's connection. So expect some issues, and I appreciate you guys tolerating that and just kind of rolling with the flow. Welcome, everybody. My name is Jonathan Jones. It's my pleasure, my privilege to be your host and moderator for the evening. Today is December the 13th. We are less than, well, just about 2 weeks away from the end of the year. Can you imagine? That was 15, 16, 17 days from the year having been brought to a conclusion. So we can expect some amazing things to finish out the end of the year. Hang on one second again. I see my computer going into some sort of an epileptic fit. I'm going to log in on my other device. Go onto a different network there. All right. Okay, looks like it's settled down. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, the year is almost over. So I know you're all excited about seeing some transitions taking place. But next week, we can make a note of it. Dr. Prasad, we're going to be having a discussion with Dr. Prasad about cancer, the impact of micronutrients in cancer. So obviously we can't talk about anything being a treatment or cure for any disease, and we're not going to be doing that. But this coming Sunday at 5 p.m., the discussion, the focus is cancer. Dr. Prasad has written a bunch of books on cancer and nutrition, and we've had a number of unbelievable discussions with him about cancer right here on this conference line on Sundays. So we'll get a chance to do that again. So tonight, we're going to have a presentation that's geared toward, new individuals who are interested in having an understanding of what Micro Daily is, what the Engage Global is all about, what the products that this company has are all about. So we're going to try to do that, and hopefully we'll be able to share with you a video or two. We'll see how that goes. But you know how much of a challenge that can be, like I said, with my equipment. But right now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to just begin our discussion by showing you a little bit about the product that I said we were going to spotlight, and that was collagen. So let's talk a little bit about collagen and what collagen is, because many are still, even now, asking the question, why should I bother with collagen? What is the point of collagen? Why should that matter to me to use to use this collagen? And many people are raising another question. They're saying, I already take a collagen. Why do I need this collagen? What's special about your collagen? And that's another thing that's been coming up quite a bit, actually. All right, so let's talk about collagen a little bit, just by way of question for you guys. Has anybody been using the collagen so far? Dr. Prasad gave us a detailed discussion about it. What's been your observations? What's been your experience with collagen so far? Just one or two of you share your story thus far with Collagen Daily. Edward, you're using the collagen. Go ahead, tell us your story.
Well, I've got a little patio out in front of my house, and I live in Florida. And down here, weeds grow year round. And so usually when I go out and pull the weeds, I do a little bit, then I'll stop. Because I know if I get down there, it's hard to get up. But I went out to pull the weeds a couple of weeks ago. And Not only was I able to get down there, I stayed there. I stayed down. I was able to get up, and I didn't have any sore knees the next day.
Oh
And it's
my.
only because of the collagen.
Why are you convinced it has to be the collagen?
It's the only other thing that I did differently.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Very good. Very good. Good to know. Thank you. Anyone else? James Peters.
Yeah, I've been taking the collagen now for about 5 months, and it definitely, I see I'm looking more younger. My skin is looking healthy, and I know it's got to be the collagen. Because I'm looking a little younger. That's kind of throwing me for a loop.
All right. Very good. Very good. Excellent. That's good to hear. Thank you for sharing.
Jonathan, I have to share.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry for all the noise. I just wanted to say to you that I've been on the collagen for like 6 months. Hang on, let me move to another location. I've been on the collagen for like 6 months, and I can honestly say, for those of you who don't know my story, when I was introduced to the Micro Daily products, I was slated to have hip replacement surgery, double hip replacement surgery. One was for July and one was for August. And I got on the products as a sample, and I noticed right away the hip pain went away, and I found that quite interesting. So I got on the full suite of products, and the collagen had just gotten released just in the nick of time. So in June, I started the products. So by the end of June, believe it or not, I could really feel some strides, although it wasn't 100%, not even close, but enough for me to do and take the suggestion of Jeff Ashby. His words are lean into this. And I did with faith, because I did not want to have that surgery. And I was due to have pre-op. I was coming close. And so I had hit scheduled. I canceled the pre-op appointment. And then now I can say bit by bit, I started noticing like 3 weeks in, where I had a bit of mobility, where I could step over something, where I kind of gingerly, where I wasn't able to really do that before. I was tossing and turning in my sleep because my hips were so rigid and tight, and I just hurt all the time. So now here we are 6 months out, and I want everyone to hear me about this. I am now at that sweet spot where my hips, I'm able to feel that fluid in my cartilage. I am nowhere near this bone on bone. The osteosurgeon told me, you have a year and some change on this. I wouldn't wait. I'm able to crouch, bend. I was outside before the weather got cold playing volleyball with my grandkids. So I'm telling you, that collagen with the Micro Daily, and I'm on all of the products, but I can say that collagen was definitely the game changer for me to be 6 months out. And my hips feel like I didn't need that surgery. And I'm still, I would say about maybe, I want to say 70% of flexibility and all of that, but I feel all of that because I'm doing things that I wasn't able to do 6 months ago. So that's my testimony. That's my story. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing your story. That's Sheila Lively. Thank you very much for sharing your story. Now, as we have a discussion like this, especially if you're here for the first time, we're required to make sure that you understand something. And the FDA has not evaluated any of the comments that are being made. Engage Global, myself, or none of the individuals associated with Engage Global, affiliates or otherwise, claim that Micro Daily, Collagen Daily, or any of the Engage Global products will treat or cure any disease state. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. Testimonials are purely anecdotal. The information that you're being provided with today is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. But we did not ask Sheila to make those comments. I didn't even know what she was going to say. I've never heard it before. And I've never even met her personally. So she just shared what she feels is her own story, which she has the freedom to do. And she believes it to be true. And it was just an amazing story, just like Edward Thompson just a moment ago. I know him. So we've known each other for a number of years. But you may be asking yourself right now, that sounds a little bit fantastic. And like me, when I first heard about Micro Daily, I said, that sounds too good to be true. And I just wasn't the kind of person that was going to just believe anything. But I have to just tell you something, there's hard science behind it. So I'm not going to do a deep dive into the science right now, but I'm just going to flash through some of these PowerPoints that kind of break it down. And you can take some screenshots of some of the information yourself. And you may even want to ask a couple of questions here and there. I will tell you a few things that absolutely I think are vital to know about why everybody should be putting collagen in their body. And if you're not using collagen right now, you're missing out on an opportunity to slow the aging process. It's a real opportunity that you have to slow the aging process. And you really want to take advantage of that, because over time, something begins to happen to our body. And some of that will show up in the slides right here. But this is just a snapshot of the overall benefits. Improved memory by removing beta amyloids, which kill collageneric neurons responsible for storing memory from the brain. Now, the testimonies we heard just now had nothing to do with memory or the brain, but we've had some shocking anecdotal stories of individuals who describe recovery of some of their memory and cognitive function from taking this. And the reason for that is because of what you see on that top line, removing beta amyloids. Beta amyloids do serious damage to neurons. And they put that fancy word there, collageneric, cholinergic neurons, which you don't even have to know what cholinergic is. All you need to do is see the word neuron and just know you don't want your neurons being killed. Anything that's in your brain, you want it and need it. But those are the ones that store memory in the brain. This removes the beta amyloids that cause that damage. It was Dr. Nacuzzi about 3 or 4 years ago, called me out the blue. He says, I've been doing some research. It's beta amyloids that accumulate in the brain. That's what leads to Alzheimer's. And I said, why is this man telling me out the blue about beta amyloids causing Alzheimer's? For whatever reason, it stuck and I never forgot it. And then here it is, fast forward 3-4 years later, and this is connected very much to the discussion related to Collagen Daily. I think there's a good reason to avoid losing memory cells. Then it goes on to say several other things here that you can see. But one of my favorite on this is the bottom three. Reduce osteoarthritis pain, reduce symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, and wound healing. So Collagen Daily is a powerful addition to any supplementation that anyone could have. What is it? It's like the glue that holds our whole body together. Everything about it. And folks, mute your lines if you're not commenting right now. So just make sure your line is muted. But collagen is what literally holds everything together. It's what keeps our muscles in place. It's what's responsible for cartilage, tendons, everything. And that last bullet point that you see there, see what it says? Collagen strong fibers work like glue to hold things together in your body: muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, organs, and skin. That is just a really good summary right there of what collagen does. Just remember that it's what keeps you, you. Instead of you being a blob of organs and goo on the floor, you're you. You're a person. There's 28 different types of collagen in the body. Type 1, type 2. Well, you see the breakdown of those few right there and the screenshot showing what makes up the majority of them. And keep that in mind because it's important. If you're shopping for a collagen, you need to know that some of the collagens on the market will tell you that they've got 10 different collagens. Or our collagen has this type of collagen in it. It's got this type and that type. Don't be fooled by that. Don't be fooled. That's part of marketing, okay? Just understand that the body is made up of 28 different types of collagen. Okay, that's a fact that is important to know. Then what happens in the manufacturing of collagen, it's the peptide that converts to the type of collagen that your body needs. You don't get to decide what your body makes. Your body decides what kind of collagen it makes. And that's why what we're discussing now, this Collagen Daily, is not collagen, it's collagen peptides, okay? So the body knows what it needs, the body knows what it needs to do, and again, you don't consciously get to decide what where the collagen goes in your body. As we age, we lose collagen. We gradually begin to lose collagen. Sunlight causes our body to lose collagen. The kinds of habits that sometimes we're exposed to can cause us to lose collagen. And there are still people out there who expose themselves to terrible habits like smoking. And then even worse than that, there's people out there that will actually, I shouldn't say worse than that, because there's nothing, in my opinion, worse than smoking. And certainly donuts are not worse than smoking, because I have to admit, I like a donut once in a while too. But anyway, doing it in excess, that's a problem. That's a problem. So that can cause loss of collagen. So when you see someone, and this is not a commentary, this is not a criticism, but have you ever seen someone and you say to yourself, boy, that person really has aged? Now you know why. It's because of collagen. And I still remember once meeting a woman, and a very nice woman, very nice. And in my mind, she was an old woman, which is okay, because I'm glad anyone is old, because being old means you're still alive. I was completely shocked to find out that we weren't much different in age. I was completely shocked. I would really have put her about 15, 20 years my senior. And so I was really shocked. Something happens. See, these are the things that expose us to the sad consequence of losing collagen and looking like we're aging. So is this all about vanity? No, not at all. Not at all. But it does send a message, because what happens on the outside is an indication of what's taking place on our inside. And that's the part that all of us need to be aware of. So it's just a matter of time. As we get older, our body will gradually lose collagen. Skin, other organs begin to gradually decline in appearance, leads to all of the different, cosmetic and external evidences that our body is missing something. And now you know what the missing something is. It's collagen. So no matter how many nutrients we have in our body, if we're losing collagen, we're aging. We're going to hear a whole lot about this next month. And I hope you guys are really focused in next month, because Dr. Prasad has published a new paper. When someone is published, when a scientist is published, that's a medical document. Dr. Prasad has been published again. It's all about anti-aging. And we're going to be doing a deep dive into that subject with Dr. Prasad next month. So you want to make sure you have everybody there. So in his research, he discovered that there's a couple of enzyme inhibitors. See, because what happens in our body to cause this decline in our collagen is that there's an enzyme in our body that begins to go up. That enzyme is what causes us to lose collagen. It's ever so gradual, but it does happen. But Dr. Prasad found that there is a way to stop the loss, the degradation of, or the increase of the enzyme. So that's how he targeted. That's what he did. And besides putting the collagen back in our body, he figured out a way to stop or slow the growth of that enzyme that causes us to lose our collagen. This particular component here, hyaluronic acid, very important. It's what causes the moisture in our skin to stay there. So very technical. Don't get caught up in all the little details here. But there's a bad thing called hyaluronidase. That's the bad thing. But this hyaluronic acid, that's the thing you want. That's the other thing you want, because it helps with the moisture and helps the skin absorb moisture and keep the moisture in the body. And then this elastin versus elastase. Ignore the elastase, bad guy. Elastin, good guy. That's what helps the skin remain elastic. If the skin is not elastic, it looks wrinkly. Now, what about this enzyme? The enzyme that causes the loss of collagen? Well, that's where, like I said, Dr. Prasad is the one who figured it out. What will block the growth of that enzyme? Two different things he found: an extract from the amla fruit and an extract from white tea. He found some research papers that have already been done on, so he's not the scientist that discovered it, but in his research, he found out that these two things block the enzyme that causes us to lose collagen. Now, you should be saying to yourself, why is nobody talking about this? Why is this not all over the news? How come when the information was published, why didn't it make mainstream news? Why was no one discussing this? Because it was just, a cosmetic thing. To some people, it just wasn't important enough. And when something is not important enough to generate the kind of revenue that large companies want to generate, they just don't do anything with it. And I had a meeting with some pharmaceuticals at one time. This is going back some years, with some products that we were looking to put on the market. And their first question was, could they see a pathway? And this was one of their biggest criteria. Could they see a pathway to making somewhere in the area of $50 billion on the product? That's what they were looking for. If it was only going to make $500 million or so, it just was not worth their time or their energy. That's mind-numbing to me. It has little to nothing to do with the benefit to humanity. It has everything to do with shareholders and profits. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in that. That's why we need to put ourselves in a position where we find real information that can be a benefit to us. So when you're shopping for a collagen, focus your attention on those three circles right there. That's what really matters. It needs to be a peptide. And the type of collagen is not as important as the fact that it is a peptide. It's the peptide that converts to collagen in the body. Your body is the chemistry factory. Your body is what causes it to become collagen. All right. So there's an interplay there with amino acids that causes the peptide to become the collagen that it needs to be. Then you also want to look for hyaluronic acid. You want to look for enzyme inhibitors. Okay. That's what makes this stuff really, really work and help your body. All these other things that cause our body to degrade, they are what they are. You and I cannot stop them. They are what they are. We can educate ourselves to them and do something to offset the impact of them. Okay? So when you're shopping for collagen, the average collagen, the majority of them are peptides. So that's a good thing. So if you see that on the bottle, they are peptides. So that's fine. So that's a good thing. There are a few better ones that also happen to have hyaluronic acid. So if you're looking at that big old shelf full of collagen, then know that the ones on the bottom are all peptides. The better ones You might have to look for them, dig around. They also happen to have hyaluronic acid. But if you really want the best one, you need one that has enzyme inhibitors also. Because seriously, what good does it make to continue to manufacture tons and tons of collagen on the one hand, but you're losing it on the other hand? That would be a little bit like having a hole in the bucket while you're putting water in the bucket. You have to keep putting water in the bucket more and more and more. In fact, a great deal more, because you're losing water. You have to put more in than you're losing. So, maybe that's the reason why nobody else bothered to put it in there. Because if you're constantly losing collagen, you have to continue to depend on more and more of their collagen. You can't just keep taking the certain amount. You have to increase the amount that you're taking. Not with Collagen Daily, because it plugs the hole in the bucket, so you stop losing it, and then you can very easily make more. And that's also the reason why you don't have to use a whole ton of it. So we'll talk about the amount that you have to use. But Dr. Prasad's Collagen Daily, his formula is one of a kind. There is no other. Seriously, go to the store and look around. There's not one of them. None that have an enzyme inhibitor. None. It's the only one on the market. And right now, there's a patent pending for it. So Dr. Prasad was very smart. And he decided that, you know what? We don't need to lose this again, along with David Nemelka. We don't need to lose this opportunity again. Let's go ahead and submit for a patent for it, so no one can run around and say, oh, yeah, but ours has enzymes too. No one will ever be able to do that. They cannot run around and put enzymes in their collagen peptide. This one has everything in it. So it's the best one, period. Okay. So all the benefits: anti-aging, increased levels of hydration, good looking skin, all kinds of positive things, but focus in on what many folks in our age group deal with: joint pain. Decreased activity related to joint pain. We just heard those stories at the very beginning of our discussion. And part of it is because of the loss of cartilage tissue. That's what causes it. I'm sure folks don't want to look as old as we may be, but feeling better is more important than looking better. Okay. So sorry, ladies, that may not be the case for the women on the call, but I'm just talking from a logical point of view. That's the right side of the brain talking, not the left side. Okay. Anyway, we talked about this at the very beginning, just those overall benefits, and that beta amyloid thing, that's a big deal to me. So even if you guys focus in on just your skin and the beauty side of it, let me tell you, that beta amyloid business, that's the stuff you will never see, and that's the stuff that you will never know is happening. You'll never know that you're having beta amyloid issues and that some of your cholinergic neurons are starting to get fried. Wait a minute. There is a way to know. Have you ever walked in the room, got there, and wondered what you came in there for? Had to go back out, sit down, do what you were doing, and come back in again. Beta amyloids. Okay. Anyway, reduce arthritis pain, osteoarthritis pain, rheumatoid arthritis, wound healing. So many benefits. So many benefits. It's just off the Richter scale as to why a person would want to put this in their body. Okay. So there you have it. Now, another thing that Dr. Prasad figured out is that if you want to amplify the benefits of collagen, if you want to amplify the benefits of collagen, add vitamin C and antioxidants to the equation. It works even better. It works even better if you combine it with vitamin C and antioxidants. Then that's when you get the maximum efficacy from the product. Okay? So think about that. So if you take one of the Micro Daily products, along with the Collagen Daily, that's the 1-2 punch of anti-aging. that's where you get the greatest amount of benefits, is by adding antioxidants to the story. So that's just a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. I love it. So the perfect combination for anti-aging is Micro Daily, any one of them. And because some of you are going to say, what's the difference between one Micro Daily and the other? I'll get back with the person who invited you, and they'll help you understand the difference. But just adding one of the Micro Dailies to the Collagen Daily, that's the ultimate in anti-aging formula right there. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. But in a nutshell, the green bottle is the original formula. The purple bottle has methylated Bs, B9, B12 are in the methylated form, easier for the body to absorb, especially if you're the kind of person that's been eating glyphosate. And most of us have been eating glyphosate, weed killer, in our food. So the purple bottle is more absorbable. The red bottle, that's the granddaddy, okay? It has everything in the green bottle, everything in the purple bottle, and it also has 4 additional ingredients, all for anti-radiation. The radiation that we're being exposed to from 5G, our cell phones and the atmosphere around us, okay? So, enough said. These are just some of the features of the product. The peptides are bovine source, not plant source. They are bovine source. So it is from grass-fed animals. It is non-GMO and gluten and dairy-free and completely third-party tested. So Dr. Prasad recommends that you use the scoop that comes with it, by the way, that scoop. See, I had one sitting right here earlier. The scoop that comes with it is too big. So what you want to do is you want to put like 2/3 of that scoop, put that in your tea or in your coffee, 2/3 of a scoop. So the scoop is 16 to 17 grams. 2/3 of the scoop is 11 to 12 grams. You don't need the full 16, 17 grams. If you use the 16, 17 grams, then you just know that you're going to use the tub up in about 3 weeks instead of 4 weeks. Okay. But if you use it the way that Dr. Prasad recommends, then it'll last an entire month. So anywhere between half a scoop and 2/3 of a scoop is the correct amount. I mix mine in hot liquid. So I put mine in I use green tea in the morning, sometimes coffee. Just put it right in there. Just after you put the coffee in. It's not like Cremora or some powdered creamer where you put it in first, then you add the hot water. No, make your coffee however you want, make your tea however you want, and then put the collagen in afterwards. It literally will just kind of fall right down and dissolve by the time it hits to the bottom. So it really works nice. You can also mix it in a protein shake. You can put it in you can cook with it. Just whatever you're eating, just cook it right in. So if you know that you got a serving of rice that you're going to cook and that's the correct serving for you, then just put it right in there, or oatmeal or whatever. Just mix it right in. You can mix it with Micro Daily Hydro. I don't recommend mixing it with Micro Daily Hydro because that's a cold liquid, so I don't know how that works. I've never even tried anything like that, but it does definitely dissolve best with heat. Heat is the best for it, and it's cheap. It's only $65, $65. You can just add that to your auto ship, your subscription, right? Or you can go ahead and just buy one of the bundles that has the collagen in it. The best bundle is Dr. Prasad's Choice. That's my absolute all-time favorite because it's got everything in it that you could ever need if you want to maintain optimal health. The optimal bundle is good too. Okay, here's what's wrong with the optimal bundle. The optimal bundle does not have the probiotic in it. But now you can very easily convert the optimal bundle to the Dr. Prasad's Choice bundle just by adding a probiotic. Even if you like one of the other bundles, right? The basic bundle now, that's 100 points. You could actually step that up one just by adding probiotic to it. So, but I think the optimal bundle is already going to be changed. It's going to be converted to have the probiotic in it instead of I think the eye boost. I think the eye boost is going to be just an add-on, and which, by the way, is really phenomenal. But that's the story with collagen, collagen daily. This is the reasons why you would want to make sure that you have collagen daily as part of your diet and part of your lineup of supplementation. You do not want to ever not have collagen daily going into your body. So let's pause there for a minute and see if did we get everyone's story? Did everyone get to share their collagen story out? Did all of it come out? So here's what I'm going to do is because some of you may not have heard Michi Morris's story. Let me see if I can get my computer to behave. I'm going to turn off my camera, okay? So don't take it personal. At least I'm going to try to turn off my camera and see if I can't bring up Michi Morris's story for you, because I think that would kind of help to illustrate the addition. Just kind of dropped out there, didn't I? Okay, hang on, folks. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right back. My machine is just having a little bit of an epileptic fit, so don't worry about this. Well, now, if you do want to share your story, feel free to go ahead and raise your hand while I'm fighting with my my technology here and share your story, okay?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Beatrice Chester. I'm a affiliate, a new affiliate. I got my package last Friday, about 9 o'clock at night. I started taking it, and I have lymphedema in my left leg. And I had just got back from Miami, which all my kids got stairs, and I hate it. But I came up. I'm in Locust Grove now at my baby girl, at her house, and since I've been taking it, I noticed the other day because I had to go to the bank and do my e-wallet, and I had to go put clothes in the washer. And so I went up the stairs, and I had no problem going up the stairs. My left, because normally I have to put my right foot on the step and drag the other one up. Well, now I can go up and down the stairs the right way. The collagen, it does work. And I noticed this morning when I got up, I felt my leg and it's getting smaller. So it works.
That's incredible. That's incredible. What's your name again?
Beatrice Chester.
Beatrice Chester. Where are you from, Beatrice?
I'm from Miami, but I'm living in Georgia now.
Okay.
Because I have a brother that's in the military. I'm trying to talk to him so he could get in so that I can get my product cheaper. But he won't listen.
Yes,
but I'm taking care of him. You know, he's a disabled vet. He was in the Army for 20 years. And now they have diagnosed him with ALS.
Oh, wow.
So, but he's doing good. He changed his diet and everything. So, you know, he's getting around pretty good. But, you know, he have his challenges.
Well, glad that someone told him about Micro Daily Engage Global and these amazing
I'm going to
products.
keep talking to him. But whether he listen or not, I don't know. He don't want to listen. But I have another brother that was in the Air Force for 17 years. So if Willie don't listen, I'm going to talk to my brother Anthony and see if he would listen. because it works. And they don't understand the difference, of having the proper vitamins and nutrients in your body. See, me personally, I don't take medication. And I've been up in Georgia since 2015, I believe it was. I came up to take care of my grandmother. I wish I had known about this back then. She died at 103. And in her right mind, everything was working, but I couldn't figure out what to do about her kidneys. But anyway, she's up with the Lord now. So, but I'm going to talk to Anthony and see if I can convince him to do it. Because he needs it, because he's been having sleep apnea. He's supposed to sleep with the CPAP machine. I don't know what other ailments he got, but he's in a different part of Georgia. He's in Ray City, Georgia. So when I leave here, everybody's supposed to meet at my house for Christmas. So, but have you heard anything about let's see, what is it? Sleep apnea?
He's frozen. I don't know if he could hear you right now.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, can you?
Oh, but
Yeah.
if I might chime in.
Okay, you can't hear me right now. Hang on one second, please.
okay.
So Beatrice, your problem with sleep apnea is a mechanical problem. So microdaily, these products won't necessarily help with that, but the problem caused by poor sleep, it will help with. Okay, so that's a different story. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But whoever it is, they still should take the product.
Right.
All right.
And see, like my brother that I live with, he was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver.
Ooh, he definitely
And
better get out of it quickly.
They put him on lactulose. This is something that I guess take the impurities out of his body or whatever.
Well, he needs to raise his body's own glutathione levels if he wants to, if he really wants to deal with that, keep his liver. So microdaily raises glutathione. So it won't cure the problem, but it raises glutathione. So
Okay.
One thing that you definitely want him to do. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Keep us posted. Make sure you come back and let us know what's happening with your family. But I want to share with you guys this story here so you'll understand the connection between the impact on the brain. Okay, the impact on the brain. This is Michi Morris. She came on the program and she told her story about her mother. All right. So if you have trouble hearing it, just let me know. Well, I don't hear it.
Or space rather, it makes it even more special. I had no idea this is what the topic was today, Alzheimer's. I had no idea.
The brain. So we're talking about the brain. So go ahead.
The brain, yeah. So my husband just, was inviting me through Rob. I really don't personally know him, but I know we started with the products and the collagen. I started my mother on the collagen, I think last Tuesday is when we received it. Now, my mother has been diagnosed with the Alzheimer's for, I guess, about 10 years. So no focus. 10 years, yes. So no focus, just kind of staring. She's 86 years old. So she's just basically kind of staring. Sometimes we put on gospel music, she'll kind of move her head, that type of thing. Sometimes I'll tell her an old story about her grandmother and she may give a laugh. Other than that, no, she can still walk on her own, that type of thing. But I started the collagen on last Tuesday. And on top of that, last Thursday, she was diagnosed with COVID. And so she had a lot of mucus. Yes. So she had a lot of mucus on her chest. So we received the products. I started giving her collagen in her Ensure because that's the only way, even her medicine, she just, she chews them. So I started putting it in her Ensure and sometime in the cereal. And then the brain boost, I only gave her about 2 brain boosts because my brother's dealing with pancreatic cancer. So my first order, I wanted to send that over to him and get him going right away. So it was round about this week. I think it was round about Friday. We was taking her, on her daily walks. She had more clarity. She was pushing her walker. The neighbors was like, we haven't seen her in a while, and they was calling her name. And she stopped and turned around and waved to them.
Oh my.
And she had not done something like that in 2 or 3 years. And her foot that she was dragging, she was able to keep up with her walker. And then I think it was that Friday morning when I put her in the shower, which she has to lift her leg over the tub. And so I shared with her, I said, why don't you try and wash your face with the washcloth? And this is something she has not done in 2 or 3 years. I would have to bathe her. And just with that one prompting, she started washing her face, and she continued to wash her neck, and she continued to wash her body. And I'm like, whoa. And then when I went around to pick up and get some more soap, she had stepped out of the tub on her own, 1-2, without falling. And I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. And the only thing I noticed, and it's been different things, I've called my brother after that, and she said, good morning. She said, good morning to him. She had not said anything like that to them in 5 years when they would call. And then last night, my husband and I was going to bed, he's online, and she goes, y'all, I'll see you. She has not had a sentence of 4 or 5 words like that in years. And I'm like, what is going on? Could this be? So the only thing I know was the collagen I've given her for about 7-8 days. She missed 2 days last week. And this morning I did not give it to her. I gave her the brain booster, and she only had about 3 brain boosters. Wow. So that's the only thing other that I've noticed I've been doing. So
I'm speechless right now, Michi Morris. So that's Michi Morris's mom's story, right there in a nutshell, folks. And it was pretty remarkable. It may that kind of thing doesn't happen after someone has been diagnosed with and suffering with Alzheimer's for 10 years. And even if she never regains full use of her mental faculties, look at the reaction that her daughter has just being able to see her mom benefit to a small degree. Keep in mind, folks, testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. The FDA has not evaluated these comments. We don't know the clinical circumstances surrounding the person's situation or any other factors that may have played a role in this. Okay? But that's just to try to illustrate the effect that beta amyloids have. So the very thing that Dr. Nkuzi was telling me years ago, we now see that in certain cases, if you stop the degradation of the beta amyloids and introduce something that nourishes the neurons, feeds the brain, and then there's a chance that the brain can actually begin to, who knows, repair itself, evidently. And that's what some of the specialists have commented on with this. But someone was making a comment earlier. A gentleman was trying to make a comment earlier. Please bring that back again, and let's hear your expression.
Oh, peace, Jonathan. Baba Akintola here. I was, yes, I was just about to say to, I think the sister was Beatrice, is it, Chester?
I believe so.
Okay. She spoke about 2 brothers who, were in the military. And I was going to just say to her that by them being in the military, there's a veteran program and they could get their products at half price. So they should really jump on that, knowing the good that it would do them, So I just wanted to share that.
All right, very good. I think she was trying to get her brothers to she's trying to get that. If they weren't going to do it, she was trying to take advantage of that military discount herself.
Ah, okay. I missed that part. I wasn't sure if she knew or not.
Okay. Yep.
Great job. Beautiful, beautiful call.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I know about it, but I've been trying to talk to my brother that I live with, and he won't listen. So I'm going to try Anthony. I'll talk to Tony later.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, folks. So we have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions. If someone has a question, let's go ahead and try to entertain that now before we sign off. If you're wondering how to get the product, get back with the person who invited you to the discussion, and they will help you to get your own micro daily or collagen daily. And I highly recommend that you add this product to your diet, folks. Add this, introduce it into your repertoire. Some have wondered, well, which one of the micro daily products should I take? Which one is the best for me? The best one is micro daily EMF, no question about it. I have noticed, this is just personal, I have noticed that if I take the EMF at bedtime, it disrupts my sleep. If I take the original or methylated at bedtime, it does not disrupt my sleep. The reason is there's a small extract from green tea in the micro daily EMF. So a small extract from green tea in the micro daily EMF, which is phenomenal. I mean, there's no caffeine in micro daily EMF at all, but there's something about it that for me caused my sleep to be disrupted at night when I take the EMF. So I take 3 original at bedtime, and it definitely makes a big difference for me. And I take that along with CBD when I go to sleep. But if it's not disrupting your sleep in any way, don't even think twice about it. I'm just passing that on. I had this conversation earlier today with Dr. Nkuzi, and he suggested I start letting folks know that that's my personal experience with it, just in case someone else is wondering about it. And go ahead, Ms. Slaughter. You have a question that you want to slip in here?
Yeah, she was saying that the collagen should be taken along with one of those items, the EMF or the original. And are you saying take it at the exact same time that you take it, or can you take it anytime throughout the day, long as you're taking those?
Correct. That your second statement is the accurate one. As long as it's part of your program, then you're getting the benefits of it. Yeah. So you could just take the collagen in the morning, and then at some point take your micro daily, just whenever it is, as long as it's part of your life. That's the perfect combination. Okay.
And the vitamin C, as long as you take it sometime throughout the day, it don't have to be taken at the same time also.
Correct. Now we're still talking about micro daily. I'm not talking about taking vitamin C separately.
Okay, so the vitamin C that's in the micro daily is enough.
Correct.
That you don't have to add a separate.
Correct. Yeah, you don't have to add anything else to it.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your question. And folks, remember to drink plenty of water, okay? Because as your body starts to detoxify, the toxins need a pathway out, and you want to make sure that those toxins are able to leave your body. Microdaily is going to raise lymphocytic glutathione levels. It's going to raise glutathione in the body, and glutathione is going to bind the toxins in the body, and it's going to want to get rid of them. If you're not drinking enough water, those toxins will tend to go to the weakest part of your body, and it can have a very disrupting effect and make part of your body worse. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water, okay? And Sheila Lively, please go ahead. You got the last word on this.
Jonathan, can you address medications and the micro daily products as far as the contraindications part of it, and also people who are on medications? I have people who want to know, I'm on medications and do I do this first? Do I do this first? Can you address that?
Sure. Good question. First of all, Dr. Prasad, when he when Microdaily went through the internal review board for the United States government, one of the things he had to prove was that there were no contraindications to known pharmaceutical drugs. So to this day, Dr. Prasad has indicated that it won't contraindicate. See, Microdaily is simply the food that's missing from our food. So it's not a drug. It's not a medicine. It's just food. So you don't have to worry about it contraindicating with any medication. If you are concerned about taking it at the same time as your medication, just separate it by 2 hours. Separate it by about 2 hours. That's the thing you want to do. So in other words, let's say you are required by your doctor to take a certain medication with food. Follow your doctor's instructions. And then after 2 hours goes by, take your Microdaily. And you're saying to yourself, but I need to take my Microdaily with food. That is correct. Make sure that the food that you ingest when you take your Microdaily has some fats in it. So it could be like sometimes if I'm not eating a meal and I'm taking mine, I make sure that I have like some pecans or some Brazil nuts around, or avocado or cheese. So I'll put something in my stomach to make sure that that the Microdaily has no problem, and that the fat in that will help to break down any of the fat soluble components. So that's all you have to do is just keep it 2 hours apart. If you're worried about it, just separate it by about 2 hours and you'll have no issue whatsoever. The question came up about iron infusion. That's been a question that we've been dancing around here for the past month or so. And I got an answer to that question today. Same thing. It falls into the same category. That if you are taking iron supplements or your doctor has told you to take D3 or any other supplements like that, it's okay. Do not take your multivitamin while you're taking Microdaily. So stop any multivitamins you're taking while you're on Microdaily. And by law, I will not and cannot tell you to stop taking any of your pharmaceuticals. So don't ever think that I'm suggesting that in any way, shape, or form. But when it comes to vitamins, multivitamins, don't take that along with Microdaily. But if your doctor told you need more D3, take that. If you've been told that you need more iron or something, take that. But you can separate those, again, by about 2 hours. That's all you got to do. 1 hour minimum. 1 hour minimum. And then, but 2 hours is about the normal recommended separation from things like that. Okay. And Sheila,
Thank you, Jonathan. Yes, it did. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your questions. All right, everybody. So again, for the record, my name is Jonathan Jones. It's been my pleasure, my privilege to be your host and moderator for the evening. And please, folks, keep in mind, again, as I say, that these comments have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. So what you will want to do is just be mindful that everybody is different. Everyone's circumstance may be different. You don't know the clinical circumstances surrounding what happened to, someone that may have had a positive response from any of the Microdaily products. Engage Global and none of us claim that the Microdaily products are a cure, treatment, or cure for any disease state. So please keep that in mind as you take the products. Seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust when it comes to your health and your well-being. Now, this coming Thursday night, keep in mind, I think I mentioned this before, this Thursday night, we have another one of my meetings is on Thursday night coming up soon. So you're welcome to come back again. And but remember, Dr. Prasad, this coming Sunday, I'll be interviewing Dr. Prasad about the impact of micronutrients on cancer. So that's a discussion that you're going to want everybody that you know and care about to come. Is raging out of control right now. So this Sunday at 5 o'clock, same Zoom link, same everything. We have it. So my meetings, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sunday, 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 5 p.m. That's all you got to remember. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 5 p.m. respectively. Okay. Thank you guys very much for joining us. We'll see you all on Thursday night. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jonathan. It was very informative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace. Great job, Jonathan.
Hey, thank you
Great
very
to
much.
meet with your family. Much peace
Thank
to
you.
all.
Love having you guys on.
Love being here.
Bring folks back.
We will.
Absolutely.